Hello collectors, this is Tom from CollectAWrestlePalooza. Today we are counting down the top 5 best-selling sealed audio cassettes from eBay auctions within the last few months. We're going to see how much buyers are paying for these unique collectibles. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for the support. On my top 5 videos, I only look at eBay auctions because I think that's the best indication of the true market. I've been buying tapes recently, mostly for the nostalgia, but I found that there are definitely some genres and titles people will pay top dollar in good condition. Let's look at the top 5 together.
CollectAWrestlePalooza. CollectAWrestlePalooza.
Coming in at number 5 is a genre that generates some chases, rap, and hip-hop. This is Tupac Shakur's posthumous double album, Until the End of Time, that sold in a sealed long box for $466. When I say long box here, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not referring to the vintage, excessive packaging from the 80s and 90s. This double album came out in this century, but still sells for top dollar in new condition. Tupac is one of the hip-hop goats, famously assassinated in 1996 after a Mike Tyson fight in Las Vegas. He sold more than 75 million albums, including many after his untimely passing, such as this one. Until the End of Time features unreleased tracks from Shakur's time at Death Row Records in 1995 and 96. It was a highly anticipated album and hit number 1 on the US Billboard Top 200 as well as the Billboard R&B, hip hop, and rap album categories. Coming in at number 4 is a cassette I thought would be number 1 on the list, 1991's Nevermind by Nirvana. This copy was sold by BMG and graded a Rewind 9.4. It sold for $565. Most 90s kids will already know the story of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. They brought the experimental Seattle DIY grunge sound to the masses. They tapped into the creative spirit of youth and empowered a generation to go into their garages and to make their own albums. They shunned the idea of stardom, which ultimately led to frontman Kurt Cobain joining the 27 Club. This was a tragedy for sure that defined a generation of art and culture, but Nirvana lives on. Nevermind was the first widely released studio album and features many number 1 hits. This is the album that defined Nirvana. 90s kids will also remember BMG. That company, along with Columbia House, were the precursors to digital music subscription services. In the 80s and 90s, a kid would subscribe instead to BMG that would send them monthly tapes and CDs for pennies with the obligation to buy more. Coming in at number 3 is another surprise, 1996's Honey Temper Soil from the nu metal band System of a Down, which sold for $610. I couldn't find much about the history of this demo tape, except that it has a cult following and apparently was pretty good. System of a Down found worldwide fame in 2001 after the release of Toxicity. 3 years before that, they released their self-titled debut, and 2 years before that, this demo tape. It has a place in our culture. In fact, I saw t-shirts on the Hot Topic website with this tape pictured while researching the album. If any viewers know more about it, please leave comments and help us out. Coming in at number 2 is the album that popularized rap and hip-hop across America, 1991's The Chronic by Dr. Dre, which sold on eBay auction for $738. This album almost single-handedly brought rap into the mainstream. Before The Chronic, rap was mostly underground and not a part of our society. It was part of the vocabulary of Middle America after The Chronic's release. The Chronic changed everything. After this album, rap was everywhere and everyone owned a copy of The Chronic. It portrayed hip-hop and rap as a legitimate style that kids could emulate, and it was cool. I'm not surprised to see Dr. Dre, who is arguably another rap goat, this high on the list. The Chronic is an important step in the evolution of pop culture. And number 1 is a shock. Kylie Minogue's 1990 single Tears on My Pillow, which sold for $1,205. I did some research and found this is a cover of a doo-wop song first recorded by Little Anthony and the Imperials in 1958, and Kylie's pop version from 1990 was big in the UK, Europe, and Ireland, but never did much in the US, which may be why this cassette single is rare. But seeing it sell for over $1,000 and to come in at number 1 on this list is still a shock. Viewers, help me out. Why would this cassette sell for so much? My only guess is that Minogue's early cassettes are rare since she was first popular in the UK, Canada, and Australia only before she made it in the US. I even read that Geffen dropped her second album due to weak sales. If viewers know more about these collectibles, please leave comments and help us out. So that does it for the list. What's your favorite? Any cassettes you're surprised didn't make the top 5? Let us know, leave some comments, and as always, be good to each other and happy collecting.
CollectAWrestlePalooza, CollectAWrestlePalooza.